Welcome to The Future's Bright, The Future's Ginger. Yes, with myself, Matt Fisher. We have a very special guest on this evening. I haven't seen this guy in years. I'm absolutely buzzing. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Marley Blandford.
Hola, hola.
How you doing, man? You well?
Doing, mate? Doing great, thank you. How are you keeping?
I'm getting old. That's how I'm keeping. Getting old very quickly. What about yourself? What have you been up to these days?
Still looking as well as ever, mate.
He's buttering me up already. He knows he's got some points to win. He wants to be up the top of that leaderboard. He's buttering us up already. Slam on the jam. There we go. Loving that.
Absolutely.
Man, what are you doing these days? What are you doing?
Right, a few bits. Not as much as I'd like to be doing at this exact moment, obviously. However, on the plus side of that, and the fact that I've got time off, it's like the government is paying me to have time off. The government is technically paying me to make this album and finish this album. It's the closest to the record as a record deal that I'm going to get. So I was going to take that with both hands and keep going with that.
Amazing, man.
That's about it at the moment.
Tell me a bit about the album then, Geese.
So it was kind of started, well, probably a few years ago. I thought I'm just going to write a few songs, and I never had the facility to record. Nor the money to hire a facility to record or the expertise to do so. So I just eventually kind of got some money together, got the little MacBook just behind there. I'm actually in the middle of something at the moment, as you can see. And
nice.
And just started with a mixture of GarageBand and Logic and a couple of other MIDI inputs and a sound card kindly donated by the wonderful Andy Matheson of the Explorers in Portsmouth.
Big shout out
again, mate. Massive shout out to that. And just recording with that, and that's been going since about maybe June, July last year, on and off all my days off. And now I've got so many days off. I've got more days off than school summer holidays from how it feels. It's pretty mad. So I'm just continually recording now, and it's got to the really fun process now of where I've got 14 or 15 songs, and I'm actually writing a few more and starting to pick what are going to be B-sides, what are going to be singles. That chopping and changing that at all times, as you'd be aware of picking singles. It's such a tricky procedure, and so I'm going to get a lot of people's help on that. However, getting there with all that, and it's really feel like it's finally taken shape, and I'm dead excited because the last time I released something original, new, properly, like a studio recording, was 2016.
Wow, man.
So I better carry on, because it used to be the case of I was 18 and they go, "Oh, you got all your life ahead of you. You're great." And now it's like, "How old are you?" 25. Like, oh.
the ticking time clock.
It's getting there. So I'm whacking stuff out there. It's more for my benefit now. I'm just really enjoying writing, and I hope that other people enjoy my writing too.
Oh, man, well, if you don't mind me saying this, I genuinely think in some ways that you're downplaying yourself, man, because as far as I'm concerned, you've got a massive presence in Portsmouth, a brilliant following. That's where we've seen you from. I've always kind of followed your music. No, honestly, seriously, man. I think you're an amazing talent, because you've written with many people. Just before we touch on kind of what you've done previously in the past with this album, is this all solely yourself? Have you written with any other people, or?
There's been a couple of collaborations in there. Yeah, like I think majority at the moment, instrumentally wise, has been myself, just because I've always found it easier. It's always been that way for me, and I enjoy doing everything myself. I mean, I don't mean that to come across as it does, but I really enjoy working with myself when it comes to drums and bass and linking stuff in, and it stops me wasting people's time as well. And you see what I mean. But I've been doing like that myself. However, writing wise, I've wrote with a lovely lady called Lauren Barker. We've wrote a single, and she's actually singing on it as well. So we've got a duo there, a lovely duet. Which I haven't done since my first album in 2014, like a proper recorded duet. So that's going to be lovely. So we got that on the way. I've wrote with I've got a song, the mixture of writing by myself and a incredibly talented writer called Tom Martin, who's from the Romsey area. Mm-hmm. And he's, I've just never known someone to verbally construct such lyrical beauty in my life. It's incredible. He's great at it, absolutely great. And so there's a song of his that he didn't want to use anymore. So I took it, changed a few bits, made a kind of different version of this. And I haven't actually asked him whether he's okay with me putting it on the album yet, but
brilliant.
You might need to cut this, man. But he may be okay with it, hopefully. And yeah, otherwise, I believe I'm just trying to go through all the songs in my head at the moment.
I think, as I say, I think when it comes to that kind of magic of writing, I know for myself, whenever kind of written songs and things like that, is I've always said, it doesn't bother me kind of who does it or where does it. It's just great hearing something, even if you've had a small part to play in that song, being sung and being played and being listened to by people. Because I mean, I don't know about you, man, but for me, that's the power of music.
It is. It's a amazing feeling. There's a couple of people that I've like helped out with in the past, and then you suddenly hear that said song on the radio, or said song just popping up on YouTube, and people are saying kind words about it. And sometimes, like, not in a bad way, but where I'm always continually moving forward and writing and recording and playing gigs, things slip your mind for a day, and then something creeps up on you. And then there was a song, a lovely bloke called Chris Jenkins, who released a little EP a while ago, and he got onto Radio 6, and out of nowhere, I got a tag saying like, my song's just been played in Radio 6, cheers for the writing and the piano playing, Marley, and tagged me. And then it's like, it's
Amazing.
out there, and I'm there going, crap, I remember that before it was born, and now it's there. It's like a musical baby on Radio 6, and like, that's sweet. It's a weird feeling, isn't it? But it is, brilliant. Yeah, it's a real sense of accomplishment, and it's nice. Really nice.
Absolutely brilliant, man. No, absolutely amazing, man. Now, I know that you did some writing with someone I'm a big fan of. She's a fellow Ginger. I believe you did some bit of Janet Devlin, am I right in saying?
That's the one. Yeah, I did indeed. Yeah, it was a little while ago. I was very fortunate to open for her on a show in 2016 when she came to Portsmouth.
Amazing.
And through that, I got chatting to her and her management, and she and the management were happy for me to pop on up to do some writing. So we went up a couple of times, did a little bit of writing with her. It was a bit of writing for her album, which is coming out soon, actually. Unfortunately, the tracks we wrote didn't make it. However, all was not lost for myself, as I was able to harvest a song that we wrote together and bring it to use it myself on this album, which is most definitely featuring.
Brilliant, man. So that's 100% going to be on the album, yeah?
Without a doubt, yeah. I was umming and ahhing about a load of songs. Nothing was certain, but now I've re-recorded and rewrote a couple of bits, literally, I think yesterday or the day before, not long ago. And it's there, and I'm happy. It's where it hits a moment and I go, oh, yes, let's do it. That's going in, without a doubt. She's just enchanting to work with. Well, lovely, lovely girl. And not only that, but her management and her label, Insomnia, and Rick, who runs Insomnia, and all the gang within the record label are absolutely just terrific people. And they've helped me out. They've helped me out indirectly, just putting me on shows with her. I did a few gigs across the UK with her now, up in Birmingham and London as well. And she's just awesome, her and her crew. So hats off to them all. And I'm so grateful for the experience and the opportunity to get a name of someone that I really love musically on my album, which is bloody awesome.
Oh, mate, honestly, that's
really nice.
Absolutely brilliant. No, really pleased to hear, man. And do you know what? I truly hope that she one day sees this and maybe even makes an appearance on this show as she is a fellow
man.
Ginger.
She'll score the shearing points all day long.
You've managed to get yourself on to the BBC. I remember you gracing my TV screen once.
Oh, thank you for watching, mate. Yeah, it's many moons ago now. I think it was 2015. I performed on the BBC One Saturday night, which was bloody awesome. Almost a distant dream. Now it's a really strange, in a good way though. I mean, it's great to look back at. I mean, yeah, it all came about where, as stereotypical as it may sound to people who are giving you advice on what to do with music, I put a cover of Fly Me to the Moon, recorded in Fox Forest by the Hillsey Lines in Portsmouth, just by the little lake. Played Fly Me to the Moon acoustically. A bloke who was running something called Simple back then. It was like someone making people's lives easier, MPLE, that thing. And he was just doing free video shoots to put on their channel. So I thought, oh, cool, nice little acoustic shot. So I went up there, did that. Rather hungover, I'll put that out there now. And I was like, but I'm so glad I did it, because through that, I got contacted by someone saying, hi, we spotted your video. We think you'd be great for a TV show that we're going to be producing. Would you be interested? And it almost felt like kind of, when you look through your inbox and you see a message. I'll be honest and say this is exactly what I thought. I looked through and it's pretty much there, kind of like, we have $600 million to put in your bank account. And it was almost registered at the exact same thing. I almost went, nah. But I thought, oh, actually, no, this is a guy, and it's actually, I checked his Facebook out, and he had all the production things, production credits on his Facebook, and I thought, oh, right, okay, well, I'll reply. What's to lose? And I thought it'd be a case of going to London, paying for a ticket to audition, and then coming home and not getting it. And that's what I thought it'd be.
Yeah.
But I thought, may as well. You may as well do it. So I was, yeah, sure. And they went, sweet. We're gonna do some more videos, and we'll let you know if you've made it through to the audition stage. I went, oh, okay. I thought, oh, it's going to be a bit of a long set, but you know what? It's TV. It's nonetheless, it could be really fun. And they sent me a message a little while after saying, hi, we'd like you to come on to audition. Would you be able to make up to London at, what was it as well? It's dead at 9 a.m. I think my audition was in London at Holborn, near Holborn, sorry, by Good Street at a little dance school. And I went, all right. And I thought this is going to be like prime time, rush hour. I mean,
yeah,
prime time train tickets,
especially coming from Portsmouth.
Rush hour. Yeah, rush hour tickets. So it's going to be like peak tickets, which is like normally about 40 something quid. So I thought, I don't know. And then they said they're going to pay for everything, all expenses incurred. Yep. And I thought, wow, that's a lot. I mean, there were people coming down there from Leeds and Yorkshire and other places in Yorkshire. So I went there, auditioned, went home, and then went back again for the final, just where they picked like there's only a few, and I think everyone I met that day was on the show, so I think they knew, but they were just confirming to themselves.
Yep.
And yeah, so we all sat there, and I was listening to people singing through the walls. I was like, oh my days, these people have got such strong vocals and brilliant guitar abilities, and so on and so on. It's like there's going to be some great renditions of Sinatra songs going in this. And they did explain the show. So it's people doing Sinatra songs in their own way, called Frank Sinatra Our Way. Yeah. So after that, I went home again, and quite funnily enough, to tie in with what we're speaking about, or what we've already spoke about, however this is put together, I can't think. What we spoke about, I got the message confirming I was hoping Christina Perri, and an hour later, I got a call from the guy who I was speaking to in relation to the BBC, saying that I'm on the show, and it's confirmed I'm going to be on the show regardless. And I remember that I was sat at my dad's house in Bognor, and I literally just sat there, and I said, I've got the show. Sat down, had a coffee, and then I said to him, I've got the bloody TV thing now, and he's there going like, no, actually, this actually happened. And I was there going, I was literally there going like, this actually happened? This is really weird.
Incredible. And, what a day.
Yeah. Oh, it's weird. Yeah, so strange, but amazing. Really amazing nonetheless. Anyway, yeah. So we went up, I think one more time up after that, before we actually went up for the recording. And I spent 4 days up at Elstree, and we stayed at a lovely hotel nearby. Chilled out there, had some drinks with everyone the first night. Not too much, just a couple of drinks, just like, it's kind of like, hey, we're all here. And then went to bed. And the next day, I think it was a dress rehearsal, and we were at Elstree Studios. And I just remember being there and being a bit like, this is strange, because these are like the kind of corridors you see when Keith Lemon goes on a mad one at Celebrity Juice and gets Gino running through the corridors. It's the corridors of Elstree, because Celebrity Juice has been filmed next door to us.
Yeah, man.
And I don't know if it was just rumor or not, or if it was confirmed, but I'm pretty sure Michael Bublé was a couple of studios away when we were recording as well for the Christmas thing.
Oh man,
it could have been a rumor, but no one saw him. Everyone saw Keith Lemon apart from me. So everybody bumped into him and got a photo. And all I saw him when he was in costume, and I thought, this is going to be a really weird photo if I ask him, so I just left. But it's really it suddenly became such a surreal affair, because literally the month before I'd got the show with Christina, and I sold quite a few albums like between that time online and things were just going mad. And then, as I said to you previously, like I think when we were offline, actually, like you go from a massive show to like playing a little cafe, and a massive show, then you're playing your local pub, and it's like, it kind of makes your head, but keeps you humbled, really. I mean, it certainly has for me. I quite like that. So it was all this mad thing, and then I get thrown into Elstree, and like people walking past, Paddy McGuinness and Keith Lemon are walking past when we're sat on the bench having lunch, and so on and so on. And it's like, this is another world. But
Crazy.
It's really quite mad. Yeah, mad to see. And but yeah, it's amazing. really, really fun experience. We did the show record. It went really well. My partner, my mum and dad, and my stepbrother came along, and that was lovely.
Beautiful.
Everyone came along. We stuck around for the after show for a few drinks, and I think one of the things my partner said was that straight after the show we were sat in the room out back in the dressing room, and I was stood there, and I was so desperate for the toilet and I needed to go, but I was stood there chatting to Rufus Hound and Rochelle Hume's mum, and Georgia my partner was sat there, so we were just sat. I was like, I need the toilet, I need to go, I'm sorry, I had to go. I had to leave Georgia, who's just been thrown into this on that same day with Rufus Hound and Rochelle's mum, and I've just left her there and went to the toilet, come back, she's there going, that was weird. It was quite nice. Not only that, because I was just sat there chatting with Rufus, and also sat with Leo Green, who hosts Radio 2, at Radio 2 Jazz Show, I think, and it was just, you really do realise there's not really much of a divide between people like myself and people who have made it and are on TV and screen all the time. I think people are just people, and you've realised that. And I remember the first day I was like, by the last day I was like, this is strange, but it's actually quite nice to see that people are nice like that. I mean, like Rufus Hound continued to like a couple of my tweets and stuff like that. Afterwards, like I tagged him in something because he said about my performance, he said, I really like your voice, but it just feels like you just needed maybe 20 more bottles of whiskey or something like that, or something along the lines of that. And for my birthday, I got a crap ton of whiskey. So I just tagged him in that, and he liked that. And he was keeping up with me, and he was sharing other people on the show and all them and all of their stuff. They were sharing it onto their Twitter profile, and he didn't even have to do that. But he's like, he realised people are just people, and they're nice too, really nice people as well.
But I just think it's crazy that the money that people get for original bookings is nowhere near, where people would get for, unless you're in London. But then, to be fair, as I say, I've still heard London now, isn't necessarily going to be the greatest for original music scene. It's expected that you play for free. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's fair enough. I think I'm in a lot of cases, especially when it's like, if I know that I'm going to be going somewhere, like any sort of showcase night, be it Portsmouth, London, Southampton, anywhere, if I'm going to be going to a place and it's a nice venue full of nice people who are listening to what I have to say and what I have to sing, original music wise, this is, and I walk out, I don't get paid, but I've had a great time, and some people have listened, or I've got a gig offer through it, then I'm personally speaking, I'm absolutely fine with that completely. But when it comes to, I think it's when it comes to, there's like, I think it's just a fine line, I think. Because like, if someone's saying, can you come down to my pub and play for an hour and a half for free? And then you get there and everyone's going, yeah, so we want Queen songs, we want Ed Sheeran songs, you want this songs. And then you're there going, oh, what am I getting out of this? I'm a jukebox for free, and I don't like that. But like when it comes to like, and it's all about the mindset as well. I mean, like if you're going somewhere knowing that's what you're going to be doing, then that's it. That's how it. I mean, that covers gig. You go there because you're going to have a good time and you're going to get a bit of money for it, and it keeps you afloat, pays the bills and all that. Yeah. So it serves its purpose as a gig. That gig is a purpose. The purpose is to go there to enjoy your night, see some friends if they're there, have a couple of drinks, and play some songs that people are going to sell along to. And you're not selling your own music, so because of that, I'll charge a fee. When it comes to original music, if it's going to be a great gig, then more than happy to do it for free. More than happy. That's why, like, I mean, a lot of these support act gigs that I've done, I've got nothing for. I mean, I've got some in way of expenses, and even then, it's kind of like few and far between. Offer more than maybe 30 quid petrol. When in reality, for someone who doesn't drive like myself, that comes to like 60, 70 quid on a train if you're going way out of the city. So it's, but it is what it is. I mean, it's just sacrifices we make, innit? I'm sure you must know yourself as well with all this.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about, man. You touched on the supporting acts, so I know we were having a little bit of a chat off camera, but I kind of want to bring this to camera now. You've done, you've done some amazing kind of work as well for all these people. Seem to tend to be maybe these people that have risen to fame on X Factor and stuff like that. And I'm sure we can touch on X Factor in a minute. I'm sure you've got your own personal views on that program, but in terms of like the acts, the acts that you've supported. Like, who have you supported, and like, you know, to inspire maybe young musicians. You know, how about do you even get to come, you know, to these kind of bookings and things like that?
Yeah, well, I think the strange thing about it is it all started maybe 2014. I went on tour with a great boy band called MAD, who's lovely lads, and I've met through that experience. Like, I had maybe, let's say, I think the best way to put it is like I was so lucky, because to put it into perspective, maybe let's say I had Instagram for about a month or two before on my proper music account, and Twitter for ages, but I had maybe 300-400 on each. And after about night 3 of the tour, it shot over to like 2,500 on Twitter at this point. And on Instagram, it went up to like 900 literally in a matter of like 2-3 days, when I played Portsmouth and Kingston. Yeah. Then I carried on and played Southampton and London and some other dates and that. And it all rose through there. And that's when I kind of thought, well, all I did was ask, can I play in more dates? And people were nice enough to say, the management were nice enough to say, yeah, come on board, play a few more. So I went through that, and then I thought, well, let's just look around and see if anyone's going to have me, because like I could go to London and play a little pub and have a nice night, or I could be really lucky and just message someone big and just go, any chance you're looking for like any room for a little one at the back?
So is that literally the secret? Is that literally the secret of just having a little bit of kind of courage and, you know, belief in yourself, and just go and message, you know, management companies to local supporting people? Is that right?
It was, in a way, yeah. I mean, there was a couple, two of the bigger names I supported. It's a lovely lady called Christina Perry, and a UK band called Lawson.
Yeah, and Lawson as well.
When I did shows with both of them, and the Christina Perry one and the Lawson one were both competitions on Twitter and Instagram, I believe, where I still remember that. And I finally recorded the song that I did for the Christina Perry 15-second audition on Instagram, and Instagram only let you 15 seconds. And I've only just finished recording that and writing that now. It's weird how that's 6 years ago.
Crazy, isn't it?
5 years ago. And I did that, and she saw it. I got I suddenly, 3 or 4 people on Twitter, we all messaged each other saying like, we've got followed by Christina Perry's street team. And what does this mean? So I'm just whacking the piano. Sorry.
No, man, play away while we're talking. That's what we like. Some live performance and everything.
So I checked the DMs. It's literally. And then I got a message.
Ah, mate, I'm kicking my feet back in my seat. I'm loving this.
So I got that message from the street team.
Yes.
They said, play the game. Anyway, yeah, that's enough of that crap. So yeah, I got the message. They said, do you want to play London, Coco? And it's looking like a sold out gig. And I was like, I was 17 or 18, I think. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Of course. Went and did it. And it was a shock. It was a shock to the system to stand out in front of that many people. But it was one of the best gigs I've ever done. One of the most fun gigs. Same with the Lawson show. I think I put up a live video on Twitter, and then they selected me, said, you're down to the last two. We're down to the last 2 people now. So we're letting the boys decide in the band. I was like, oh, that's cool. Because I love
Amazing.
Lawson. And then I got a message saying, do you want to open? And I was like, mate, I still remember it, because I had a bit of a bittersweet day, because I was this close to opening for James Morrison. Very, very, very close. Oh,
mate, another great name.
At the last moment, a good friend of mine got the slot.
Okay, fair enough.
Well deserved. Well deserved. But I was like, oh, damn it, that close. And then I got a call saying, yeah, do you want to open for Lawson? And I went, yeah, absolutely.
Of course, man.
And so those 2 were competitions, but I must admit the rest they're people that I like musically, and that I listen to and look up to musically, lyrically, and talent-wise, if that's even a word. And I just, especially with the Matt Cardle one, I fought tooth and nail to try and get through to their management, and I'll just hold my hands up and be honest and just say I was ruthless. I just sent quite a few emails and just going like, I know you probably saw the last email, but if just in case, if you want to let me in, feel free. It's like, they're like, let me in. No, I was like, let me, if there's time, I'd love to play. And eventually they got back. I went, yeah, you can do the gig.
Amazing.
And for me, I listened to Matt Cardle when I was growing up. since he won the X Factor, and I went through some of his albums, and it's such an incredible vocal, and I wanted to mimic that all my life. The first song I ever wrote was a complete rip-off of a Matt Cardle single, and I just carried on like that. And then I kind of I wanted to sing like him. I still am trying to create that range that he's got with my vocals, I suppose. Yep. It's the same with Matt Cardle. A lovely guy called Luke Friend as well. I just dropped a message to him and said, if you're ever looking for a support, I'd love to support you, because he just released an EP, and I was listening. I was like, oh, I love this. And I saw he's doing a gig in London. I went, I might ask. And the same, it all came with Janet as well. Yeah. And with Lucy Spraggan, I played at the Wedgwood Rooms with her when she came down. And straight the night after the gig, I saw that she was doing a few other gigs around the South, and I thought, I don't want to ask straight away, because I don't want to seem like that, because I'm so grateful for the opportunities. I still am so humbled that I've been chosen by some people to go, yeah, we'll have him in the sport. So I thought, I want to leave it. I don't want to go in too fast, and just, because not only that, but that Lucy's management are lovely as well. And then I got a message from Lucy herself about 3 hours after the gig saying, like, hi mate, really liked what you did. Do you want to come up and open for our Christmas show at a cave in Derby? And I was like, amazing. Okay, sure. I was like, I kind of in disbelief. She went, cool, we'll get back to you about it. And it was the longest 3-month wait of my life. And then she finally got back to it, because it was right near Christmas, and this was back in early September. They said, right, so this is the plan. Are you up for it still? And it was me and a girl, a lovely little Lucy May Walker, who's doing very well for herself now. She'd been on Jeremy Barn a little while ago. She's great. Amazing. And, we both opened up for her on that show, which is still my Facebook page, my music page cover photo, because it's like, I don't think I can get a scenic gig to top that, so that's going to stay there for a while, I think. Yeah, but yeah, it truly does. I mean, I chat a lot of crap, but pretty much, I suppose the thing is just being able to big yourself up enough in an email, just be confident, and know that you're good at what you do. Be confident in yourself, and go approach people and just say, hi, I don't want to bother you, but if there's any chance, I mean, I would love to open a show for you. But like, I think to just be truthful as well. And so obviously don't go to someone that you'd never listen to and go, I've brushed my teeth to your album, man. I love it. Just don't like, and so anything weird, just come in, just be honest about it. And it seems, I mean, like, especially because of this, I mean, people being nice and saying, yes, I've met some really nice and great people through that. And yeah, I think that's all the advice I can really give, but just be truthful when you're messaging. And if, like, because obviously I've messaged because I bloody love Janet's music and Lucy's music, and Matt Cardle's a lifelong inspiration of mine, like vocally and musically. And same with Lawson, I bloody love Lawson. And it's just not only that, but it makes it even more sweet when someone says yes and you've messaged people that you really like. I mean, I've been shortlisted for a couple. I don't know if I can name them all. I don't know.
We can edit out if need be.
Yeah, but I got shortlisted, which is the only time it's ever happened, actually, I think. No, twice. It happened twice. I got shortlisted for Sam Smith for the O2 about 2 years ago. Amazing. And he said they've whittled it down to a handful of people, but the person who got chosen was Lewis Capaldi, believe it or not, which is bloody mental. But then again, you never know, because the big companies, I don't know if that's their nice way of saying no to me by saying, we've shortlisted you. Sure. But either way, it's a very polite way to say no, if not. And it makes, at least I can believe I almost got something. And I also, but not only that, but when you message people in the industry like this, you get some pretty, just incredible responses, like from people that you wouldn't have guessed. Like, I'll message someone, let's say, for example, if we're talking about, I mean, I don't like the whole kind of celebrity culture or anything, but if we were speaking in terms of that, someone who, let's say, will sell out 100 tickets per night on smaller tours or something like that, and I'll message them and say, any chance of me opening for the show? And I'll get zero response. And then I message Ed Sheeran's management, Kev himself. Honestly, I messaged him. I've got to find the email and show you, and said, and I see Ed's playing at Wembley. I know it sounds insane, and I sound insane saying it even to myself. And no matter how loquacious or articulate I can be, I can't make this sound serious, but it was. And I messaged saying, is there any chance? And I got a reply in 10 minutes from Kev himself saying, "Hi Marley, thanks for the really nice message. I'll pass on the kind words to Ed, but unfortunately we've already got support sorted. Maybe next tour."
Love
I
it.
mean, what a gentlemanly move that is.
Absolutely
And,
brilliant.
you know, I think it was clear that there was no chance, but what if you said yes? I mean, there's nothing I could lose there. And I
100%.
don't think I've ever put that knowledge to the public really, but it's true. And I suppose it's good press for him and his management because they're really nice. And the fact I got a reply from him when Divide was number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10 and that in the charts at this point. How mad is that? So yeah, it goes to show that you literally don't know what you're going to get when you message people. You truly
That is truly inspiring. That is an absolutely brilliant story, man. Love that. That the Ed Sheeran story is brilliant. I absolutely freaking love that. So, like, where do you even find where do you even find their management companies and stuff like that?
You know what? The answer is it sounds just it's hidden in plain sight. Is the answer. I mean, I went onto Ed Sheeran's Facebook page, went into the about, scrolled down to general manager and touring manager, and they've got the emails right there. I mean, I kid you not, it's right there. Sometimes
Literally.
it's not as easy as that. Sometimes you really have to dig deep, and not only that, but sometimes you find what email. So you find, let's say, for example, let's say said artist is signed to Warner.
Yeah.
But they subcontract their artist. They want to subcontract some of their artists, I think, to there's a really big booking company. I can't think of what they're called. C something.
Okay.
So let's say it's C artist, for example.
Yeah.
to not infringe on copyright, because you know what Facebook is like. And they'll so then you find out it's like a CAA.
That was it. Okay. Yep.
Yeah. So CAAartist.com, let's say that's their normal email tag. So you do that, find out what their manager is, you find out the system in which their office works in. So if their manager is called John Smith and every single person's email that you've seen on CAAartist.com is J.Smith or A.Harrington or M.Fisher and so. You do that and then you're just like, oh, this manager's John Smith, it's J.Smith. And you try it.
Yeah.
Just try it out.
And sometimes it works.
That's the thing. I mean, no one's really going to hear you unless you're banging on the door. So you really got to just go for it. Don't be over the top. Don't continually like what someone. I said this to a friend. I won't name them, but I said this advice to someone, and they started messaging. They almost bulk messaging, and I thought that's fair enough. You got to be thorough. But then it turns out they were sending and copying and pasting the exact same email to each artist, and they were going to about 3 or 4 different agents in CAA with the exact same email saying, I love this artist and I would love insert artist name here, and so on and so on. Yeah. And not only that, but they were going to the same person regarding different artists. And it was then it kind obvious, of takes away it takes away the sincerity.
Yeah.
So so I suppose in relation to what we were just saying, don't do that. But just as I said earlier, I suppose, just be sincere about it and just be honest.
Amazing, man.
Yeah, it really is that easy sometimes to find people's emails. They're tucked away in the internet, but if you dig a little bit, you'll definitely find some gems out there, and you'll be able to. And in my case, I've been fortunate enough that a couple of times people were nice.
Amazing, man.
There's no downside to it. It's not really the only worst people can do it is say no.